I'm recording now.
It's the power of J-Skull! Dang, this thing's heavy. Oh.
Well, it certainly
Sorry,
is. And holding the mighty power sword there himself is Jason Roy Gaston. And I am VHS Jason. We are back talking some more He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the 2021 Netflix series. And, well, it's going to be a cracker show tonight, Jace.
Yes. You know, they lied, though. I pointed this at my Pomeranian. Instead of becoming a battle dog, he just peed himself and ran away.
So he's definitely kept the cringer part of things. He just couldn't.
Yes, he's... But he can't even
turned
be a
him
cool
into
cringer like the cringer on this show. He just peed himself.
Well, if you haven't seen by the thumbnail, guys, we are in the meat of this series at this point. The juicy part of the series. We're in season 2. We're talking episodes 4, 5, and 6 today. And yeah, like, we're right in the guts of it, Chase, aren't we?
Speaking of which, being right in the guts of something, episode 4.
Yes. Yes, Absolute 4. A very hungry dragonfly.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to say straight off the bat, this 3 episodes we're watching tonight, there's a real obvious tonal shift.
There really is. There's a more of a shift towards comedy, which I'm cool with. I'm cool with any excuse to get Bobcat Goldthwait into a voice role. I'm there for it.
And yes, I mean, certainly with this episode, but that just jumping a little bit forward, Bobcat Goldthwait, like, do you remember a film that he was in years ago where he played a guy and there was John Candy played a talking horse?
We're talking Hot to Trot, aren't we?
We're talking Hot to Trot with Burgess Meredith as the fly. Yes.
I love Hot to Trot. I don't care what the Razzies say. That movie's a comedy goldmine, and I just absolutely loved it.
Me too. I did love that film. But his performance, Bobcat's performance in this, I mean, really is comedy gold.
It is.
Just his
great.
Like real world approach to what's happening around him is just hilarious.
I love the fact that, you know, Bobcat, as he likes to be called now, Bob, which I'm sorry, you're Bobcat. Sorry, that is my childhood. You're Bobcat Goldthwait.
You say that with love and respect.
With nothing but love and respect. He has become quite a well-known and well-respected director lately, and he's made some very good films. So to hear him come back and be Bobcat again, that was some nostalgia gold right there, and I loved it.
Bobcat always comes across his interviews at this point in his life. He only does what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So I get the feeling he's a bit of a He-Man fan if he's jumped on board with this.
He has to be. He has to be. I actually got to see him do stand-up live one time, and he's every bit as funny live as he is, you know, on TV or in the movies, Police Academy and all that other great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Another really fascinating thing about this episode that before we get into Gary, like the best He-Man name I've ever heard in a He-Man show, Gary. Is that this is a setup of a trilogy of episodes that intertwine and repeat themselves. Very cool concept. We're not aware of this in episode 4, as say, but I love this, how they've interwoven these 3 episodes. So this is obviously the first part of it that we get, and that's established by this opening scene where we've got Duncan, who's attempting to meld the sigil with some Havoc power, if I believe so. But then we cut straight to what essentially is Teela and Evelyn hooking up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, as a team, well, a team that they don't really want to be together. Let's face it. Evelyn is not the most social creature in the world.
No, she most definitely is not.
But they're both on the hunt for the sigil, because this is what it's all about now. We're on a chase for the He-Man Triforce, basically.
Pretty much. This is the MacGuffin of the season, and we got to find it.
We got to find it, and they're on the hunt. But then we get introduced to Gary. Gary is the best, and Gary is he's full of havoc at the moment, which makes him extremely hungry. So he's got a bit of an appetite. So he ate the location where the sigil was kept.
Yeah, that's all he wants. He just wants a belly full of food and just to feel the wind underneath his wings. I identify with this dragonfly so much.
He's not a confrontational being, really.
No,
he was doing it out of hunger.
No,
Really wants to be left alone.
Yeah, he just wants to fly around and be chill. And the next thing you know, this witch and this big, huge aircraft are chasing him around. And they're like, oh, we know you're not hungry anymore, but we want to make you hungry again. I would fight him too.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't already guessed, guys, we're Team Gary here. Yes. So I like that Gary gets out of this first kind of tussle. He gets away, doesn't he, basically?
Yes, he does. And I was very happy to hear that.
Go, Gary, go.
Yes.
Which also then allows Teela and Evelyn have a bit of a heart-to-heart session.
If you want to call it that, I think it's more of like a heart to Evelyn, because I don't know if Evelyn has a heart.
No, she's very, very strong emotional armor around her. But, you got to give it to Teela. She's trying to crack through that hardened exterior, that little black heart she has, and try to bring something out of her.
And
but Evelyn's
dialogue.
She wants the havoc, man, because she needs that. She wants to get reconnected to the havoc.
She's a meth addict. She wants her powers back. That's all she cares about. Just give me my powers back. I don't care about ruling the world. I just want my powers back.
You know what? That's an interesting thing, because I reckon out of all of it, maybe in the sequel series of Kevin Smith, besides that, Evelyn's never come across that she wanted ultimate power. I mean, she wants power, but not necessarily to rule, does she?
No, just everything that we've ever seen, she just wants Skeletor's power.
Yeah.
She wants to be in charge of Snake Mountain. She thinks Skeletor kind of sucks. And honestly, most of the time Skeletor does. I don't think he sucks in this series. He's very intelligent in the series, but most of the other time he is this parading buffoon. And I do think Evil Lynn probably would make a better leader than him. So
I'm just thinking that.
Yeah,
just thinking that, because she's not giving me any reason at any point out of everything I've watched to say that she would be a bad leader. I mean, she's mean, she's nasty, but is that more frustration because she's dealing with Skeletor than what she's like as a leader? All right, we're going to start it. Eternia 2028. Let's get Evelyn locked in.
Hey, you know what? I would vote for her.
I would too.
I would too. She would be very honest on the stage. The other person could get up there, I just want to be up here for the people, to serve the people. I want power, glorious power, to rule over you all. What about healthcare? I suppose the health plan is that I won't kill any of you at first.
That's right.
Well, she's harsh, but at least she's telling the truth.
Yep, absolutely. But even though I think at some point in this episode that Teela and Evelyn maybe like Teela's starting to crack through the exterior, Evelyn's Evelyn. She's Evil Lynn. Yep. So therefore she's going to betray. She's on a mission, and no little goody two shoes is going to convince her otherwise.
Absolutely not. And why should they? I just love that look.
I love the animation with her.
She is disgust from inside out. Just
always
through and through. You could replace disgust with Evelyn and the movie would be the same. Probably with a little bit more cursing.
Well, they go toe to toe on poor Gary. He's just trying to go about his business. Yep. But Evelyn wants that power, so there's a big brawl on top of Gary as he's flying by. Which seemed really, in retrospect, really pointless, because how they get it in the end could have avoided a lot of heartache and a lot of battles there.
They could
just need to make him puke.
Yeah. Could have showed him, I don't know. Could have showed
There
him
it
the
is.
Masters of the Universe movie. That might have done
Could
it.
have. Could have absolutely done it. Maybe a couple episodes of the New Adventures of He-Man.
Exactly.
There
Exactly.
you go.
What have
There
they
you go.
done to Skeletor?
Look at that
Why does-
ponytail.
Why does Skeletor have eyeballs? Oh.
And a perfect smile, mind you. This is good
perfect smile.
teeth.
I still
So
say he has some
basically-
good lines, though.
The sigil is recovered. So at the end of this episode, Jace, 2 sigils. We know of 2 of them.
Yes.
So it's setting up for the next episode, which we're going to move straight into.
Let's do
And
it.
the next episode is Meanwhile.
It's my favorite episode of the 3.
Uh,
That unexpected team up that you just love.
Yeah, it's 2 things working for it. It's that and the Back to the Future 2 style of storytelling here, which I'm a big fan
Yes.
of. Revisiting times from a different perspective. I love that stuff, and this delivers on a grand scale. But really, we know, because to me, this episode is all out hilarious. And it starts from the get-go of this
It
episode,
Does
Jason.
with the birthday party and the
The
oh my
birthday
gosh.
party.
The
He's
fact-
sitting there.
The fact
Oh.
that he wants his own battle cat, he's so jealous. This,
He
my own,
is.
this does not look like my own battle cat.
That
just-
poor. There's a line of the villagers all forced to have to give him presents, and they're poor villagers, so they're like potatoes or a vegetable or something. But however, it's just I find that both the henchmen in this, Beast Man and Trapjaw, are funny to me in
They
this
are, yes.
because they start out competing with each other. Who's got the better present? And you give it to Trapjaw because he comes out of the gate strong, doesn't
Oh
he?
my gosh, that American Chopper parody was fantastic. And I love
it's a beautiful thing.
At first, I was pretty upset. I was like, oh no, that is not Panther, is it? Oh my God, that's Panther. But then they started showing it, and I'm like, that's Panther. That's really clever. I like
I do a
it.
lot. I
like
liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would think, how do you top that present, Jace? How do you top, like, basically a top of the line Space Harley by a rock, by a little
Absolutely. It's a cool rock,
magical rock?
I'm gonna say again, that Beastman design is just tops. I love it.
It is just gorgeous. Everything
Yeah.
about it, his ears, his like his face,
He's
the way he
huge,
do it,
he's-
his armor.
Yeah, he's huge. He's angular. He's kind of a doofus, but he looks dangerous. I love that design.
Maybe a doofus, but he is a good gift giver
He is,
because
yes,
it's a pretty good gift to be given basically a wishing stone. Which, I mean, before we kind of get there, which is a lovely little moment where he's like, what do I do with it? Well, you make a wish and then
Yeah.
boom.
Well- I don't even know what I want.
Yeah, I don't even know what I want. Boom. And
Gone.
then all of a sudden, because of Duncan, who we go back to the scene from the last episode of him trying to merge the Havoc with the Sigil, we get a really bad reaction to it, which we didn't see in the last episode, but we see now.
Like me with shellfish.
Yeah. And then we get, boom, Skeletor in the house. All of a sudden, Skeletor has been transported because of the wishing stone into the middle of Grayskull, which has kind of now gone into cosmic lockdown in a way, hasn't it?
Yes. It's kind of like Grayskull has been merged with a TARDIS. It's just bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. I'm going to bring this picture up again because I just have to say, I
Beautiful.
admire the lighting on this show so much.
Yeah. Look
Just
at it. It's gorgeous.
The way that the shadows play across Skeletor's face and the glow from the Havoc staff and the glow from his eyeballs, there is no reason why this show should look this good, but I'm glad it does.
Every episode I watch with Skeletor, I am falling more and more in love with this performance that he's delivering. This, do you know the actor by the top of your head who does the voice?
Not off
Because
the top of my head, but I can find it real quick.
he is unbelievably good. I think
He is.
I think he's.
I kind of said this last week. He
Yeah.
is honoring Alan Oppenheimer, but at the same time, he is bringing something new to it. And I really think that during the course of the show, especially over it's in this part of the series, he's really coming into his own and he's making the part his own. The voice of Skeletor is Benjamin Diskin.
Well, Benjamin Diskin had done an incredible job.
And I just learned something.
Yep.
Kevin Smith is the voice of Triclops.
Really?
Yep.
All right. Well, I've got something to say about him in this episode too.
Yes. Yes.
But we'll get back to that. Now, they've been transported. We'll get back to where Skeletor's been transported with Duncan inside Grayskull, which is kind of really cool because straight away they get into a fight, as you would. You would see you would see the big bad guy. You're going to go for a battle, but it's quickly determined, to no surprise of anyone who's been watching the show, Skeletor's way too powerful for Duncan.
Yeah.
Like, he's always going to kind of overwhelm him. However, it doesn't go down in the thank you art. It looks like it's going to be Skeletor's going to take his mantle. However, it doesn't. They find themselves having to work with each other in this episode, which creates, Jason, one of the most unlikely, delightful team-ups.
It really was. It was so great.
It was amazing, And Skeletor here, I mean, look, there are times, let's face it, in this episode, it gets a little bit goofy, but I'm in 100%. When you've got Skeletor wearing a birthday hat, Duncan trying to make him a cake. And Skeletor, here's the thing. He's into it. That's something I love about this episode. It's very clear to me that Skeletor wants his birthday to be celebrated.
Yes.
It's important to him, his birthday.
I really think that he gravitates towards Duncan, even though he tries not to let it see. He gravitates towards Duncan's birthday celebrations because Duncan wants to celebrate his birthday too. And that's something that Skeletor has not experienced. And so it's almost like a starving child getting a hamburger. He just wants more, even though he doesn't want to show anybody that he likes it.
Because he's somebody who wants to celebrate his birthday a la everyone else, which feels obligated.
Yes.
Yeah. I love this little moment here when he's staring at the painting and he goes, "Is my head that small?"
Is that a perspective thing? What is this? And of course, we get we get another notice of, why doesn't Helmet Girl have a nemesis?
Yes, they are laying that down.
Yes.
Quite thick.
Makes you wonder who they have got coming in to be her nemesis. Who could it be?
With Skeletor disappearing, it creates a power vacuum, as they say.
Yes.
Which is quickly trying to be filled between Trapjaw and Beastman. But before they start to get into an argument, we have the arrival of a really odd scene, which I ended up really liking, was Triclops dancing around, trying to do some performance art for Skeletor for his birthday.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you? I would.
And then Triclops being called out for it was kind of funny. And kind of dropping it.
I totally would. I would make my enemies dance for me. That just makes Triclops the most human out of all of them.
But it didn't stop these two from getting into it, did it?
Nope. And I love the video game parody. It was amazing.
Yes, it was excellent.
There's almost like a Scott Pilgrim layer of self-awareness to this show at times, and I totally dig it.
Yeah, it's definitely very referential. So
yes.
However, the battle throughout this entire episode really is to get that rock back, because Duncan figures out if you get the rock back, then we can fix all this, because this ain't good. Nobody's happy here. Let's get Skeletor home, which he eventually does. He gets it and is able to transport everything back. Meanwhile, while all that is happening, we've had a kind of overthrow, correct, happening?
Yes. King Randor showing he's not as stupid as he looks or acts, or the best testing indicated, and he basically takes control back.
Uses it but not by force, but by logic.
Yes.
Uses Skeletor's logic against him to control the troops, which I thought was very cool. Very cool. Because Skeletor comes back just in time and goes, no, I'm still the boss here. Like, this is not happening. And basically takes control. Gets rid of the Rock, but there is a, not end credit scene, but there is a little flash at this end of this episode, which you know what it means, but I don't know what it means, but I want to show it. And we get this shot right at the end.
Yes.
Which has some meaning, which I don't quite understand yet, but clearly there is some meaning to
There
that.
could very well be. What if I told you that I actually don't even remember that happening?
Oh, that's cool, because you'll get to rediscover it again. All right, which now leads us in, Jace, all the way into our last episode we're discussing tonight, which is Divided We Stand. I would say about this one, mate, this is a very serious series, like driving the series plot forward, especially with Ram Man. This just seems very, that's what it's all about, really, isn't it?
Yes.
And yeah, because it's like, I'm going to be really honest with you, Ram Man's not my favourite character out of all this. It's not that I dislike her, but at this point in the series, for me, I'm not, because we haven't kind of figured out her plot, I don't know what I quite think of her as a character yet. So I'm glad they're kind of getting to it at this point. Because it's all about she wanting to know with this Ramstone, the origin of the Ramstone. Yeah, what were your thoughts about this episode in general?
In general, I remember it more for a certain thing that happens towards the end, kind of an Avengers Endgame level thing.
Which is awesome.
It was awesome. We will talk about that here in a little bit. But as far as Ram Mam goes, I didn't like her at first either. I thought that she was overly confrontational. Just unnecessarily mean to people. I was almost like, why are you
flaky?
Even friends? Why are you even friends with this person? She's just awful. As you find out more about her and where she comes from, it does soften it up a little bit, but I don't think it softens it up all the way. I still have problems with the character, but overall, she's not bad. She's definitely not my least favorite character. She's not Stratos.
No. She's definitely... okay. Which you kind of opened that, haven't you? So I suppose we better deal with that, because this is where the episode really... Oh, actually, the episode starts off with this. I don't know if have I got the image of the little cute... No, I've got this one, but we get to see a very young Cringer. Oh, little kitty, isn't it?
Yeah,
one of the Cringer villages. Sorry,
one of the little kittens.
One of the cat
yes, one of the death kittens.
I want it. Sorry, yes, that's the best way to explain it. I do apologize. Death kitten. I want a death kitten. I will say it.
Yes, a green death kitten, lime flavored death kitten. I want one.
So it pretty well gives it off the get go what this is really all about. It is she has a very complicated and traumatic history with her father. I mean, you can get that from that shot. All right?
Oh, absolutely.
And however, she's on her pathway to try to find out what is going on. Of course, this guy turns up. Now, I didn't know you could create a character even more annoying than what I'd previously watched. But they exceed themselves on every level here with this character. Because... Put it this way, there's a fight that happens later on, which we'll get to, and I'm not rooting for Stratos in that fight at all.
No, I'm rooting for the upgraded web store. First of all, great design.
Okay, you've gone there. Yeah. Look how good he looks.
Looks amazing. Looks like a spider. It's Shelob.
And his powers, like he shoots webs and all that kind of thing. I really like the web store upgrade a lot.
I do too.
No, it was very, very cool. Should we just get into it then? Because really, the best part of this episode is the Orkening, right?
The Orkening, yes.
The damn Orkening, which is just a genius thing that was right in front of our faces that it never occurred to me. And leading up to that, which is really great, is this moment of like a Man-E-Faces coming to grips of what he must do, what he must become.
Yes,
in a wonderful scene. I just love.
Who does the voice of Man-E-Faces? Have you figured it out yet?
Nope.
That's Stephen Fry.
The Stephen Fry.
That's
The
Stephen
great
Fry.
Stephen Fry.
The great Stephen Fry. Is
Oh,
the
wow. Well,
voice
that makes
of many
total
faces.
sense.
Yes.
That makes total sense because it's so well done. And now you've said that, it's absolutely obvious. But, well, there you go. There you go. No, it's really
just-
great. And I
I
really
just see
like
them approaching Stephen Fry. It's like, Stephen, we want you to voice a cartoon character. He's an actor. He's a leader. He has 3 heads. One's a guy. One's a robot. One's a monster. By Jove, I'm in.
Yeah, I think he would. I think straight away he'd go, well, there's the character. Well defined. I know exactly what to do with that. Yeah. And but really it's the orcaning. It's the idea of putting a virus through all those droids. Were they droids?
Yes.
They call them droids?
The KO units, I think.
KO units.
The RK units.
The RK units.
Yes.
And it's so good. It's like an Order 66 moment. We get in this, where we get to see these soldiers, armed guards, being taken down by by the robots, one kind of group by group, and
An
it's
Avengers
awesome.
in-game level experience. And
this is that moment, right? Look at that. I'd be running.
What I love most about this is that it seems like this funny one-off joke, but this actually has consequences down the road. Like
Really?
choosing to bring forth the Orcaning sets off this chain of events.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
It's really pretty neat. I was actually surprised that they go in the direction that they did with it. So this isn't just a joke. This is actually a major thing in Orko's life.
Well, something we didn't talk about in the last episode, which kind of gives us a teaser for this episode, is that it's all around trolling and magic, isn't it? That's a big, dangerous part of this universe that I think mostly everyone fears, don't they? Good and bad. Like the power of trolling and magic.
I mean, honestly, Trollian magic wreaked havoc in the Filmation series. I don't see why it wouldn't do the same thing here.
Fair point.
And if everybody gets an upgrade, or in this case, an orc grade, that magic could destroy the entire world. Could drop a pie on the entire planet.
100%. Would be a good ending.
Oh, well, that is such a beautiful shot. Look at that.
Is it not just gorgeous, dude?
It is.
I just look at that and I go, you know what? I am absolutely want that in my house somewhere. I want that.
I have it. You can't have it.
We did kind of finish up what Ram is. She does find, basically, it's the 3rd sigil, correct?
Was it the sigil? Because I just remember her going to a cave and going, "Oh no,
oh no!" Well, I've jumped the gun there. That's the teaser for the end of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I honestly don't remember what she finds, but I know it's not good. Obviously,
no, clearly not good. Clearly not good. I gotta say, these 3 episodes, like I said, very tonally different, very much part of each other. I think. More so, maybe the first 2, 4 and 5, but I feel this is very connected to the last episode as well. It's really strong, strong 3 episodes of the series in a time where a lot of shows start to dip mid-season quality-wise. They seem to have climbed at this point. That's my assessment, anyway.
I agree. I think the season started off kind of shakily, but it gets stronger as it goes on, and it's a pleasant surprise.
It is. Except for Stratos, we only briefly mentioned.
Yeah, he sucks.
Man,
he sucks the entire time.
Look, I please do not respond to this, but if he died execution style in the series, I think I'd be pretty damn happy. I know he doesn't, but one can only hope. Yeah, and it's not. Can I just say very nicely though, it is not the performer's fault. He does an excellent job. He makes him deliciously unlikable. It's a choice. I get it. This is all down to the writing of that character, which is harsh for me to say because I think they nail so much well in this series. That really stands out at a sore point because mostly everything else is so well done. But yeah. That could be biased.
I think that they make Stratos, as you said, purposely annoying, but I think that they went too far with it. I think that this is like cringe teen Disney type humor, and it just to me feels completely out of place. And I think
Wh-
that's my
which-
problem with Stratos.
What you don't have with a character like that, especially with this character, is an anchor point for the audience to like him.
Yeah.
There's nothing there for us to. There's nothing likable for us to latch onto.
I mean, let's think about it. What does Stratos want? What motivates him?
Himself.
Yeah,
His-
there is nothing. There is
his
absolutely
pride,
nothing
yeah.
that motivates him other than his pride. But that is such a vague, empty thing that I think that is what makes the character terrible. Maybe in the first couple of episodes he realizes he's a bad king and he wants to become a better leader. There's motivation.
Yeah.
Even if he remains unlikable, even if he remains pompous, at least he wants something by then. But we don't get that because I think that they just wanted to keep him as a joke.
Yeah. And he is a throwaway joke.
He is.
Many,
He is a
many
throwaway
respects.
joke.
But I will say, Jace, great 3 episodes.
Yes.
The series
And,
is getting
nice
stronger
cliffhanger,
by the
yes.
episode. A very great cliffhanger because, well, that cliffhanger for me means a lot of things are about to go down. This is going to
Yes.
get pretty big, I would say, by the end of the season. And believe it or not, we are in. Well, if we've done 4, 5, and 6, we've only got 2 more episodes of this
Yep.
season coming
We
up.
have the Battle of Avion and the 5th Nemesis. So
Which will-
they arrive.
Yes, the 5th Nemesis.
Who could it be?
Who could it be? And you know what? I'll start to spend some time thinking about who it could be without cheating, just to see how far off the mark I was.
Right.
I'll look because it's got to be somebody I know. I'd be shocked if it was a brand new character created.
It's not a brand new character, I will tell you that.
Oh, great. No worries. Well, that's great. Yeah. Which means I've got someone from the past to look excited for, see what kind of redesign they get. Sounds cool to me.
Yes.
All right, guys.
I like their choices with this storyline. Let me just put it that way.
No, definitely great 3 episodes. Can't wait to do the next 2, Jace. All right. I think that's going to check us out for the evening. Jace, thanks for being part of the show. Audience, thanks for being part of the show. And please sign us off.
You have been watching The Power of J-Skull.
I seriously, like I said the other day, I'm going to buy that Stratos action figure. I'm going to grab a magnifying glass like Sid from Toy Story. I'm going to take him out the back. And I'm going to burn him.
Well, that just seems like a waste of resources to me.
Yeah, but it'd be so satisfying.
I've got one. It was on sale, so I have one.
And
And
where does he? I've never seen it.
He's
Yeah,
in the
hiding
back of my beautiful Grayskull set.
it. At the back.
He's in the
Not
back.
dealing with him.
No.
Stay there.